Hello, everybody, and welcome. This is We are in May 2022, and this is our May session for Community Open Call. Welcome. Today I am alone here, but not. Don't worry, we are having our team. We are just having some tech issues. Unfortunately, Gabriel will not be able to participate today. He is traveling. He had a sudden change of traveling itinerary. But worry not. And also, we were having Rodrigo here, but he is not going to be able to participate too. He was not feeling so good. So, good travel to Gabriel and a speedy recovery to Rodrigo. Um, okay, and now we're just having. Okay, hello, Christopher. How are you? You're probably on mute. Okay, we are all
My
set. And
apologies.
no worries. How are you today?
I'm good. Good. Thank you.
Yeah, that's good. So you probably have, if this is not your first community call, you probably know Christopher. He's our Vice President of Product. We also are expecting Mr. Singley. He's probably arranging some camera. So welcome. If you are watching this on the there you have. Oh, Jonathan Levi. Oh, I'm sorry, Jonathan. I think I invited you. Sorry. uh, where is okay? A little bit. Yeah, now we have Mr. Gazo. Hello, Gazo. How are you today?
Hello, hello. I'm
Hello.
fine. And
Yeah,
you?
that's good. Gazo is our full stack engineering manager. He's going to be talking about our monorepo initiative and also is going to cover for Rodrigo while he's not good. Welcome. So as I was telling, if you were watching this on live right now, we have a tab here that is a chat tab, and feel free to shout some questions. I'm going to say something here like, "Hello, I am from Brazil, and it's very cold here. It's like 26 degrees Celsius. That's supposed to be cold for us. So feel free to interact with us here. If you're watching this from YouTube, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Hello, Singly.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thanks.
A pleasure. You're also having Singly, our Chief of Opportunities Officer. That's very good. Nice to have you here.
Thank you.
So today, what we are going to have is a very good agenda that we always try to craft it with a lot of love and passion for you guys. So we have our guests here. We are also going to have one more special guest that we're going to talk a little bit about that. So before that, quick notes. So we have some upcoming events. At the beginning of the next month, we are going to have the roadmap reveal, the second roadmap reveal. That's going to be an awesome event, and also some spoiler here. We are going to give away 10 limited editions of the Rocket.Chat roadmap review T-shirts. So be sure to follow that. We're going to send the link here, so be sure to be on that event too. That you're going to reveal some awesome new features that we are planning, and we're going to have Christopher Scali here, and also our CEO Gabriel Angel. So it's a very nice opportunity. If you didn't see the first one, we also have that on YouTube, and also if you didn't see all the past events that we did, we have everything on YouTube. We are going to send you the link in a little bit. Also, another upcoming event that we're going to have is the OW2 conference about reliable and predictable open source software. We are going to have a link here too. We are going to participate there. We're going to have a lot of good and topics about open source, and also we as a team are going to be there. So be sure to subscribe. Be sure to be there too. It's going to be a very good, awesome event. And now we are going to have. Let me see if we have here our Katarina. Yes, Katarina is here. She's going to be talking with us about some job openings that we have. And uh, let me just see if she's probably configuring the microphone and video. Hello, Katarina.
Um, Hello, everyone. So I'm from the talent acquisition team, as Duda said. So I wanted to welcome you to watch our website for our openings. We always have amazing positions open, and we would be very happy to talk to you and welcome you to the team throughout the process. So take a look at those positions, apply to them, and share with people that you would think might be interested. And I hope to talk to you very, very soon.
That's it. Thank you, Katarina. The majority of I think all of the positions are remote, right?
Yes, all our positions are 100% remote. Our schedule is flexible. So you can work your agenda throughout your personal and professional life as well. We also have positions open for pretty much every area all the time. So if you are from marketing, engineering, operations, product, um, we do have pretty much always positions opened.
That's very good. And also, if you can check our handbook, it's Rocket.Chat is a very unique company, and I was very surprised about that. We have our handbook is it's on GitHub, and also we have a page for that. So it's very interesting to that you can see all the values and what the company is about. So that's a very different. For me, at least, it was very different, and it's a very interesting opportunity. So please check our jobs, our opening page. We are going. Hopefully, you're going to be talking with Katarina or some other people from our people team to the interview. So, and as she said, we have a lot of options, not only technical but also marketing and non-technical, non-programmers. So feel free to go there to visit our website, and we are expecting your submission there. Thank you. So thank you, Katarina.
Thank you.
Okay, so that was our talent acquisition team. I really expect you to be there. Another quick note that we would like to have here is that we are launching a beta testers channel. So the idea of this channel is to have a channel that we have because not everybody are aware that for the Docker, for example, we have the release candidate tag. So on the beginning of when we are about to publish a new release, all the release candidate is there. So the idea is to gather a lot of people that are interested on testing this beforehand. So if you are a beta tester, so if you like discovering new bugs or testing our release, so our candidate release, so please feel free there to join this channel. We're going to have a lot of fun there to test all the things, and we are planning to have also a direct contact with our team. So join this beta testers, be a beta tester with us. That's another quick note that we have. And also, I would like to show you about our YouTube channel. So as I said, we have all the videos not only from the open call but also from other events that we try to do. So this is you're probably watching our YouTube, our link there. So please, if you're watching this after this live session, please like and subscribe to our channel. This is very important to us. So this message is going to be for other people. So and now we have one new um one new thing that we are trying to do. Let me see if we can do that here on the. Not sure because it's not appearing the poll. But the idea is to select the next topic for our next open call. So we have a few. We're probably trying to leave that for a little bit later. We have three topics already that we would like to send you for questioning. So if you can choose that, so we're leaving this one for later, or maybe we can send that to your email so we can choose the topic for the next one. Okay, so that's it for the quick notes, and now we are going to uh, uh, talk a little bit more about Rocket.Chat as a community building tool. And that's a very interesting topic. I was just using the YouTube, for example, and I saw an advertisement for a big hiring company, and the advertisement was very clear that join our community. So I think that's very interesting to note because thanks. Okay, everybody that is sending messages here, so feel free to send messages to contribute on that. So as I was saying, it's very interesting to have this for the companies to have a building community as a marketing strategy, and we are watching these more and more, and this is a very interesting times to be. And Rocket.Chat, I believe, is in a very good position for that, because we have very open APIs. We are very open software that you can integrate with a lot of stuff. So building community, as we are going to talk a little bit later with our next guest that we are talking in a little bit, that I'm going to introduce, don't worry. That's about building the community. That's about having a safe place for our community to be built, and it's about having the trust and having all the privacy concerns, everything set up in order to be successful in building a community. So this is very interesting. This is a very hot topic that we are working on, and probably we are going to talk about that now, and we probably are going to come back to this kind of topics. And also, it's very interesting to very good position that we are right now, because we have the matrix protocol going on, and this will improve even further the community building, because you are not locked to a specific a platform or to a specific uh, uh, technology. So those are great times to be. Those are amazing opportunities that we have to improve on what we work on, to improve on what we believe on. So next we have Chris Scully, please.
Thanks, Duda. Hey, everyone. So a few things today. I'm not going to spend time today on kind of features and roadmap, since, as Duda was saying, we do have the upcoming roadmap reveal too. So I guess less of a reveal and more follow on with further details. I assume I'll get a T-shirt if I present that, but you know, it's hard to say. But I would like to spend a few minutes talking about some of the things that we're doing that I think really benefit the community. So first, as everyone knows, we have a fairly broad code base, and one of the things that the core team is focused on each and every day is quality and managing technical debt and improving our architecture. So Rodrigo, who hopefully, Rodrigo, you're feeling better soon, and the engineering team, along with Gazo, have been increasing the allocation of time that the core team is dedicating to core code quality and architecture. So I can't, there's no way to overstate the importance of this work. As our community grows, as the customer base grows, as we as an organization grow, there are more and more things that need to be done to support customers, create new capabilities, et cetera. And what the team has done is we've now created a gated, protected allocation of time that is spent each week on core code quality. So just want to mention that and applaud Gazo and Rodrigo and the engineering team for getting all of that set up. We're already seeing some great dividends in terms of the work that's coming out of that allocated block of time. So I want to highlight that. Duda, I think it would be also great in a future session to illustrate to the community some of the things that are being done. So that's one thing. Next item that I do want to highlight, as people know, over the course of the past, call it 6 months, we've pretty significantly expanded the capability of Apps Engine, and we're continuing to do that. So this is also really important in terms of community involvement, community contributions. As the code base expands, complexity naturally comes in. It can be harder to contribute in meaningful ways. So Apps Engine, as we introduce new capabilities, new trigger events that can be interacted with, expose additional parts of the core application for Apps Engine code to be able to influence things like user status, for example, or ability to interact with a file send event, for example. As we add those, what we're doing is creating more opportunities for community members to create richer, more functional apps, which again are fully encapsulated. And so you have the ability to create those apps, make them available to the community, publish them to the marketplace. So that's an area that we're continuing to focus on. Our next wave of work relating to Apps Engine relates to, as I mentioned before, adding additional event triggers that we can interact with, and then also exposing and aligning the core UI kit for use by Apps Engine, which is currently Apps Engine kind of uses its own separate components, and that's something that we're looking to align. So that's a big item. We'll provide some more detail on that during the roadmap reveal in a couple of weeks as well, right after I get my T-shirt. Right. Now, the third thing, a little bit of a preview. We will also be talking about this. Again, going back to the theme of large code base, we have a lot of really cool features within the platform that were in some cases maybe contributed by a community member, in some cases developed by a core team member, but haven't necessarily matured. So we have a lot of features that were created for a particular purpose. We haven't really gone through additional iterations. We are looking at a process of beginning to move some of those capabilities into apps, which will be available, as free apps to the community. Again, the same principle comes into play. That as we do that, those apps then they're available. People can contribute to improving those apps, and again, they're fully encapsulated. It's easier to contribute to something that is packaged, that is protected, that is encapsulated, than it is when making contributions and submitting a PR that could potentially adversely affect something in the broader code base. So we're continuing to do that. We're mapping out candidate features that would potentially migrate to free community apps. And we'll have, again, more on that during the roadmap reveal. Last two items to mention, because I know, Duda, you have a pretty full agenda. Hiring and filling roles. As I think I mentioned on the last community call, we, like many open source projects, have a fairly voluminous list of GitHub issues that are reported and PRs that are submitted. We're looking to improve our ability to catch up on those and make sure that they're getting proper attention and that they're being triaged. So on my team, on the product area, thanks to Katarina's efforts, we're adding a product analyst to the team that will really help to manage those items and coordinate with Duda, Singh, Flores on the community team to make sure that people get responses back when issues are reported on what the status is, whether it's something that we think we can address, whether it's something that potentially is being deferred, but at least acknowledged. So that's an important change. Again, it goes back to that hiring side. We're always looking for talented members of the community who are interested in joining us. So that is a role that we've now tracked well to fill. But on the engineering side, there are always additional needs. So please feel free to reach out to Katarina. Okay. All right. So in closing, again, today, I won't be covering, any significant new feature blocks that will be available to community. I'm going to, save that for a couple of weeks from now. But please tune in to the roadmap reveal 2. And look forward to hearing from everyone and also hearing your comments and questions as we go. All right. So thanks as always, everyone.
Yeah, that's very good. I think that we have, for those who doesn't know, we have a future requests repository. So I think that what we can try to think about now is that could that future be an app? Can we do instead of increasing the code base, right? Can we do a new app to cover that feature? And this is in pace. I think the last 2 open call we had, that to slim the code base to be more fast, more uh, uh, better performance, and remove all the features that you can add as an app. And as you said, that's a very good strategy, and that's a very good place to go for. That's very good. Thank you.
Sure thing.
Okay, so next we are going to talk with Daisha Taylor. Uh, Let me ask her, invite her here. Okay, so a little introduction about Daisha. She has been working with technology and building communities and large scale event marketing and digital strategy. So it was a very interesting talk that we had inside with our team with her, and then we were like singly said, "Oh, she's perfect to be talking with us on our open community call." And when I saw the talk and I exchanged some emails with her, it was very good in place about what we are doing here at Rocket.Chat and what we can provide. And her ideas was like very interesting. Um, Let me see if she can. Oh, here we have. I think I sent a invitation here to Daisha. Let me see.
Yeah, and Daisha, if you're on Duda, you should be able to add her to present.
Yeah, okay, invite. Yeah, she's getting ready now. Meanwhile, we have hello, Hector. So you are for Colombia and implementing Rocket.Chat. That's very good. Thank you for that. Hello, Anton here, that is always with us. Very good um community member. Have done a lot of stuff. So Daisha is getting ready here. I can see on the status she's joining soon, I believe. Okay, just a little bit. Yeah, and then just after Daisha, we're going to talk with Guilherme Gazzo about some new features that's going on here on Rocket.Chat, some changes. And right after that, I forgot to mention on the beginning, we're going to have our community member of the month. And as always, no spoilers about who is that. I will not tell who you are, but we can have some chips around the way. But don't worry. I think Daisha is having. Let me invite her again. Maybe Daisha, if you reload the
Maybe we could reverse the
browser.
order, and Gazo, you
Yeah,
jump
yeah,
while Daisha tries to join.
yeah. Okay, so Gazo,
Okay.
the floor is yours.
So, welcome everybody. And well, I will try to replace Rodrigo, but unfortunately he's sick. So, well, I will try to cover his. I believe we have three interesting points from the engineering point of view, right? This is worth to mention. Well, the first one is our engineering day. I think Chris already mentioned a little bit. Is an effort, right, to well, since we are on a startup and we are growing very fast. Sometimes we have some silos of knowledge and information, and we with this initiative we are trying to expand or create more space to share knowledge, right? So this is one of our pillars for this day, sharing, like help the guys that just join and goes, right, just join the team, help they to understand how things work, or if we have some pattern that is still not documented, or some trouble during the development. The other thing is we have like this strong objective of rewriting things to TypeScript, because this is something that helps a lot to prevent mistakes and bugs. So we are using these two objectives, right? Teach the developers and improve the development. And we are rewriting old code to from JavaScript to TypeScript, and has been interesting how well, we find some potential bugs in the middle of the code just because of this rewrite, not even changing the logic, just like bringing to the new language the TS highlight some mistakes that we're doing. This is interesting as well. Uh, the other thing, we are putting a lot of effort on QA. Uh, I mean automation uh, part, because we want to speed up the process development and the release process as well, and we want to be sure that what we are releasing uh, is good, and at least what we have covered is not broken. So we are moving to a new tool, Playwright, that help us to report properly, and we are getting rid of from Cypress because of that. And after this rewrite, we want to focus more on the coverage, right? On the features, and even we are considering the code coverage, like the browser actually gives us this information, like he evaluates the whole code and check if we went through this part of code or not. So we want to guarantee that we are trying to run as much as possible all the code that we load on inside the application. And yeah, I think from the Rodrigo's part, I think is pretty much it. I don't, maybe he has something, but we'll let for the future. And from the reason that I'm here is to talk about the monorepo chains. And well, there are a lot of benefits and pros and cons about this. I will try to cover only the good parts because it's the focus, right? But uh, well, the best example that I can remember for this movement is the JS SDK that we have on under our organization, right? We create this library to help others to integrate with Rocket.Chat. And well, since when we had like a small uh, objective or like small features to deliver, everything went okay. Like we had proper time to give support, improve, and fix. But as soon as we start to focus in more on the product and other parts, we kind of let this library. The library was stable enough. Then we let this like for okay, let's this working by let's the community help, let others trying to improve, and we let this aside a little bit. And we never use it inside Rocket.Chat application, right? So somehow in some place this library got outdated, and we and this is of course just one example, right? But we have different libraries, and we face the same problem, right? We it's like a spin-off of Rocket.Chat. We don't use actually inside Rocket.Chat, and this is a problem because after uh, a new feature, we need to propagate these changes to the other libraries, and sometimes as we are growing, people even don't have this idea of other repositories and stuff like that. So we move it to this monorepo, trying to well reduce the complexity of these dependencies. This is one of the advantage, right? Like as soon as we create a new endpoint or we fix something, we are providing this automatically for as a library to other clients. Um, what else? And of course, inside Rocket.Chat itself, the main repo, we have a lot of solutions and code that is interesting for people that want to extend or use Rocket.Chat. But nowadays is only a monolith, like a big bunch of code inside one project. And then we are breaking this into small packages that uh, based on the context, right? For example, the REST API client, the definitions, the validations, and stuff like that to empower other um, clients to develop their own solution, right? For even for us inside Rocket.Chat mobile one, we are facing this problem. They were copying and not copying and pasting, but they were creating their own solutions instead of using our libraries. And this is something that we could improve. So that's why we uh, moved to a monorepo solution. Uh, what else about that? Well, there are a lot of good reasons, but I think this two ones were the most important. Like others, like we can use to improve the process of release, right? If we have another repository, we need to release that on the other repository and make the update on inside the official one. This takes time.
Oh,
People sometimes miss to make this process. So we want to make these things easier, like to develop, to find the code, and to release a new one. And together with that, we started to use the code owner feature inside GitHub. There is more or less we are locking some folders and some features to some specific themes. So if you want to change something, we need to ask for review for this special theme. The reason is the same thing like before. We are growing. Sometimes people don't understand the whole context of some implementation. They change because uh, makes sense, but in the end, like break something outside. So we are trying to give a more well structured, repository to help and prevent people to make mistakes. So yeah, this is and the last thing that we are trying to improve on this monorepo is uh, caching results. So we want to speed up the process as well. Nowadays, it is like our release process takes an hour more or less, and we want to reduce this for maybe 10 minutes or something like that. So as soon as we start to break into smaller uh, packages, uh, gets better. Like as much as we break, we can realize this improvement. And well, that's it from my side.
well,
Do you have a
that's very good. Yes, Singly, go ahead,
One
please.
question actually for Gasso, which wasn't quite clear and is community facing in that with this mono repo change, does some of the other project that you mentioned disappear on GitHub, or are they, is there still that old entry point into the mono repo from those projects? I think that's quite important to know.
Perfect. Yeah. Nowadays, we are just focused on breaking the Rocket.Chat code into smaller solutions, right? To even we want to offer this in-app solution for other clients. So we are just focusing things. Oh, what we did here is good, so we want to let others use. But we have plans as soon as we cover, like for example, the SDK JS. As soon as our own internal one gets good enough, we want to deprecate the old repository,
Oh,
right?
okay.
Because we are
So one
the,
entry point just at that.
yeah,
Okay.
this is something that actually inside Rocket.Chat we develop our own small SDK that makes the same thing that our external one, and then actually have both. That as soon as
Sure.
we reach the same quantity of features, we don't want to remove the external one. We're just gonna reshape, right? We want to let that one for bots and other stuff that covers different kind of clients. There's not like Rocket.Chat itself, like they if it requires a different combinations or methods, they are free to go and create. And inside Rocket.Chat, we're gonna keep only what makes sense for Rocket.Chat. But for now, uh, well, we want to reduce maybe, for example, the apps engine. We just run apps engine inside Rocket.Chat, so maybe doesn't make a lot of sense keeping this outside Rocket.Chat as well and other. But this is since it's a different teams, and we are still uh, negotiating and seeing how this MVP is working, right? With breaking the Rocket.Chat into smaller applications to them, like gather all the other repositories spread to the organization, right?
Okay, and also one thing to notice is that if you do have some integration, some continuous integration that rely on that repository, that get code directly from that repository, you need to be aware of that because eventually it's going to be deprecated, right? And
Yeah, we don't want to remove, so in theory it will not break. But if you are expecting some, new release or some fix, you need to be aware that probably this will be, stuck forever on the release. Uh,
okay, we have two questions here. Would like not sure. Uh, okay,
and
can we?
reading it's possible.
Okay, I would do the. You want to answer the first one? Could we add OpenID Connect to Rocket.Chat?
Yeah, so OpenID is basically a thin layer on top of OAuth 2. And so it is fairly straightforward. I mean, Gaza, you may know, I'm guessing that some community members have already against this. It is largely OAuth 2. There should be some existing implementations. I see a thumbs up from Singh. Is that something you can point Abhinav in the direction of?
I think he's the guy who actually is our community member who actually posted a PR to upgrade our OAuth library to the latest version, which will then actually offer us some compatibility with OpenID. So I think that may be the intention of them. Is that our OAuth library that we're using is like about 9 versions behind the most
Sure.
current, and just upgrading our library. But of course, that actually involved a lot of testing. That's what his work was in, making sure everything doesn't break when we upgrade to the library. Yeah.
And the other question, I think the Nav sent. Uh, yeah, it is possible. Like if we introduce a bug and the core will be like propagated to other, but what we want from this monorepo is the opposite, right? As soon as we fix inside core, all the other libraries get updated together. Like because sometimes we need, okay, we fix something on the Rocket.Chat client, but still mobile and other players like live chat widget, it still requires an update from this bug. So what we want is just uh, the same rule is valid for both, like for bugs or for fixes, but we want to focus on the fixes, right?
Okay, so that was good. If you have any other questions, please feel free. We have you can reach us on Open, or you can reach us by email. So feel free to do that. Don't worry. But then we can answer. We can get back to this content on our next session. But thank you, Guilherme, a lot. It was very interesting. This is a very good change. I was reading about the monorepo and I was like, why we are doing that? And then I was reading and said, okay, that's why we are doing that. It's going to be easier for everybody, right?
Actually, now this is more or less a monorepo because all the code lives on the same place, but we never had the benefits of actually having multiple projects inside Rocket.Chat. So we are just that's why we are not so afraid of the problems that move into a monorepo calls because we already have our code base inside Rocket.Chat for one project. Then now we are breaking into uh, other ones. So that's why we're confident that will not affect a lot our solution.
Yeah. Oh, so this is our open project funding here. So if you are not there yet, so go. This is open. Our open is our server, Rocket Chat server that we have for not only the employees, but is an open server for everybody. We have a lot of channels there, especially for support, for example, the beta testers that I just told you. So feel free to come and ask us and engage with us. That's a very good and safe environment. We are all there every day. Okay, so thank you, and now we go with Daisha. Hello, Daisha. How are you?
Hi, and thanks to the previous speaker for covering for me. I appreciate it. Brave and Livestorm weren't wanting to play together well.
We are
Over
very
here in
happy that we were
Firefox.
able to join.
It's very happy to be here.
Yeah, so let's talk about well, digital universe building is like very broad.
Yeah,
and very
coming up with a
marvelous
title
area.
is
So
rather hard for someone like me. I'm a specialist that actually, I work typically in the entertainment industry with music and festivals and large scale projects, large touring artists, and then recently more in science and technology, basically building the vendor stacks behind the communities for each brand. And you'll find that behind every artist, behind every festival, behind any kind of large scale mass event, you're going to find that there's a unique, system set of requirements that are needed to accommodate each kind of community. And so, essentially, I go find the vendors and actually have to put it all together, and then build the website, build the community, and run it until it's reached the point where it's ever to hand over to a larger team. Previous work was Thievery Corporation, Glitch Mob, Base Nectar, Electric Forest Festival, Burning Man.
Hello, everyone.
All of these kind of started with zero. So, and then growing them to millions and millions of people. So I think I met Duda, and Eduardo, I believe, was the first person I talked to because I was reaching out to Rocket.Chat to see if y'all had Web3 on your roadmaps. And while it's not on your roadmaps, it just opened up an amazing, beautiful conversation about the role of Web3 in community and the possibility of Rocket.Chat one day. I know, given especially this meeting, you'll have a lot on your plate, but the one day possibility of being able to token gate a group within Rocket.Chat, where it's just as simple as if they have the token in their wallet, they can come in. If they don't, they can't. And for us, that right now, that's the choke point for Web3. So not related to crypto or NFTs or anything. For the systematic thing of Web3 is almost like a membership platform as a way of hyper engaging communities, and creating a new system for venture capital and ways to fund community projects, everything from music and entertainment to science and open source software. It all really is dependent on having a safe, secure place for these communities to meet, vote, activate their tokens, drive success of the product, contribute to the product. And we just can't do that on Discord. It is unsafe. It is bot infested. There's phishing campaigns. It's just, even if I could launch tomorrow, until we find a solution other than Discord that's got a commitment to that level of security, it's a no starter for a large portion of the entire Web3 community. And at this point, a significant amount of venture capital is involved in it. So it's just shocking to me to have this much investment in something and then this much demand for it over here. And whoa, choke point. We just got Discord. That's it. Discord. So no one could. One of the projects I'm working on is it's a DAO, a decentralized autonomous organization that's going to be designed in order to bring together people to help, justice and social justice and environmental projects in the Amazon rainforest, where they can use the money to reclaim land. I'm not going to send that to Discord where they're going to get pummeled by, bots from a 13-year-old. It's just not appropriate for the projects that we're wanting to invest in. So Rocket.Chat, even though I know it's probably, if it is on your roadmap, we know it's far away, but just knowing that it's in your ear, we feel that, or at least me and the people that I'm talking to, y'all are a viable candidate for offering that security and that level of professionalism we'd like to bring to the Web3 space.
Yeah,
So,
and Daysha, I think you stated it well, that when you think about Web3, there are a lot of different components,
yeah.
and the way that we look at it is it not only is it kind of on our roadmap in the future, but it's really on our roadmap now, meaning that the starting point. Yeah, but I mean, it's a matter of building blocks, right? But
yeah, the stuff that you're talking about with the apps was also just like, even outside of Web3, it's making you modular, which allows different. In my world, where you have this client that needs X, Y, and Z, you have this client that needs A, B, and C. Whenever you find someone that's investing in making their product modular, oh, swoon,
Yeah, and that's as we think about the progression and kind of working our way up that Web3 ladder, foundationally, one of the core things really comes back to data sovereignty. ownership.
Mhm.
And that fundamentally from day one has been at the core of Rocket.Chat. It's not some community that's hosted by a tech giant that you have to worry about who is fishing or getting involved in that community.
Correct. That's why we like Rocket.Chat.
Yeah, it's your architecture. And our next step, which is a key area of focus, is of course federation. So make each of those individual owned, controlled communities interoperable with each other is the second piece. And then tying in the apps engine components and thinking
For the
about
tokenization.
tokenization, that gives us the building
Allows
blocks.
me to be in the Moda DAO, and it also allows me to be in the this Star Nation DAO. And
Yeah.
you're going to find that a lot of people are part of, each person's part of 5 to 10 DAOs, but they can still do it in a unified place. Whereas Discord is doing a good job of offering that, but they're not. It's not. I mean, it's built for the gaming community. I almost feel bad for the gaming community because they really was serving their needs, and then the Web3 NFT just went whoosh. And so I think for the more professional projects, Rocket.Chat has a long history of already proven to your existing clients that this is at the forefront of y'all's model. So it's a beautiful thing. Y'all do great work. So
you mentioned token gating. Sorry to cut you off, but Gasso may be able to shed some light on. We actually have token gating built into Rocket.Chat for a while, and this is with Token Pass, Gasso. Has it been ripped out now that we've gone mono repo, or has that been placed back in some strange way?
Actually,
this
it
is
is
back
still
to like NFT tokens, so blockchain tokens.
Well, it
yeah,
could be
but
anything.
yeah, we have an integration that checks, as you mentioned, like if people has credit or something, they are allowed or not. It's still there, right? We are trying to plan how to expand this through Rocket.Chat apps or a different way, like because like if you want to insert a new provider, we need to change a little bit. So we really try to understand what is generic or not and try to create a way to do this through apps, right? But yeah, we still have this token pads there, and it works more or less like you mentioned, that Daisha, right? This based on credits, and if you can, if you have enough, we can post. Or I think they made this more for questions, right? We can, if you have credits, you can ask for help. If not, you can see the message or something like that.
It's very exciting to hear that y'all are already immersed in it. So the future is going that way, just in the sheer volume of people that are behind it and the intellect that's behind it. I really don't see it going away. However, I do believe that the people that are designing it and solving problems for it early on are the people that are going to get to define how it works moving forward. So I feel like it's just a great opportunity for everybody. So I thank y'all for entertaining the requests in the future, and I appreciate y'all having me here today.
Yeah, we are very happy to have you. One thing that I was thinking about is that in crypto you have like not your keys, not your coins, right? Maybe in community building you can have like not your software and maybe not your community, right? If you doesn't have control of the building blocks of your community, your community is there for other giant techs to explore and
I
not
like,
having control.
for me, I was an early pioneer in Web 2.0, and we were all very, very excited. And I grew some of my artists to have millions of fans on Facebooks. But I did not grow my artists a million fans. I grew Facebook a million more users, engaged users, and my artists are entertaining them for free. And I don't feel that that's equitable. And so a lot of us do believe in the Web3 model. If once you remove the hype and the noise and look at the signal, the Web3 model feels like it is a more viable model that's more equitable for everybody involved, including the hosts. Yes, thank you, Facebook, for providing this architecture for us to do this on. But you don't own the fans. You don't own me. You don't, you're making money off my content. It just doesn't, it's not the right, it's just not the right model. And so this new model, I feel like our tech vendors actually have a seat in the table alongside of us, not just capitalizing and taking our data and our fans' data and selling it off to someone else. So while it is in infancy, I do know that there's a lot of work that needs to be done. Everybody's very, very excited about it, especially, the community building aspects of it. So I think it's going to be better for everybody
Oh,
involved.
well, thank you, Daisha, for it. It was a great conversation, and I'm sure that a lot of our members and communities, and also from our team, is going to watch this and be very happy to hear that, and very inspired about all that
Yeah.
we can see further. We're looking for a great
I
future
hope
ahead
so.
of us.
I
Yeah.
hope so. I'm happy to help.
Okay. Thank you a lot.
Thanks for having me.
Okay. Uh, so now we are going to have our last attraction for the day. We're going to have our community member of the month. So Mr. Will, you be here? Let me see. Oh yeah, he's here. Let me invite him to join us. And maybe he's getting ready. I think it's the. Oh, okay,
There we go.
we got
Can
it.
you hear me all right?
Hello, Will.
Oh,
How are you today?
I'm very sleepy. I didn't sleep at all last night. I've been deep diving trying to get this demo ready, but I think it's close enough or it's good enough. I had it in a working state like 8 hours ago, so I actually recorded a video of it working. So I'm like deep in code right now trying to add some more features to it. But I'd love to show you what I'm working on and talk a little bit about sort of the problem I'm trying to solve, and want to just share with the community what's going on right now.
Yeah, that's good.
Great.
First of all, thank you for all your contributions and all the apps you have been doing and all the help you have been providing. And yeah, very thank you a lot. Singly probably knows William better from longer, but yeah.
Yeah, I've
So
I think, what was it, 2018, somewhere in 2018, 2019, I started using Rocket.Chat back in like the 0.7 versions. Met Aaron, and it's just been a great experience so far. I love the community. I love that it's built on Meteor, just because I do that all day long. That's what we built my startup business on, and that's what my employer. That's the bread and butter. That's what puts food on the table, right? And it's just such a great framework to work with. So it's a great platform for startups. And a shameful little plug about Meteor. I'm going to be in MongoDB World. It's in New York City. I think it's like June 7th through the 10th or something like that. So if anybody else is going to be at MongoDB World, there's going to be like a collection of Meteor people. Maybe we can have some Rocket.Chat people come and hang out. So we'll be there to talk Meteor, talk Rocket, and just embrace the ecosystem.
oh, that's very good. So you have
Cool.
a demo for us? Yeah.
Sure.
Or
Yeah.
someone?
So let me see
Yeah.
if I can get my screen share going here.
Okay.
Allow. Let's see. It looks
So
like I have to
just for a
authorize.
context, you are behind the man behind Rocket Booster, right?
Correct. Yeah. So I am. Let's see. I gotta
Nice
go into
question.
the settings here real quick in
Oh,
1 second. So what I'm currently working on, I'm trying to solve a couple problems. So right now, as you know, if you're a contributor or you're a community member on the Rocket Booster, or sorry, on the open on Rocket.Chat's open community, there's a lot of spam. There's a lot of like chat messages and direct messages and just bot accounts, and there's a lot of stuff that isn't really helpful, because you're trying to be a community member that's actively watching like the developer channels or the apps engine channels to see if there's like a question that you can help with. And 90% of the time you go in there and it's a spam message, or it's a person trying to sell their services or things like that. So that's the problem that I'm trying to solve today. And part of that, oh, it looks like I'm actually going to have to I'm going to have to quit Google Chrome and come back in order to allow permissions. So I will be right back. I promise.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay. Meanwhile, Singly, you wanna add something? Or Guilherme, please. Yeah, sure.
Go ahead.
If I'm not mistaken, there is one person tried to ask something through the audio. Maybe she tried
Yeah,
to send the question through the chat, right? Safe or
yeah, it's safe.
some.
Yeah, safe. Please, if you can send the message through the question or the chat too, it can. But better to the question, and then we can work. Flores is there, trying to answer the questions, or maybe if we can bring this question here to the live session.
Yeah, and the question's been posted. So Floris, if you can address that one in relation to the Flutter question that
Okay. Yeah.
Dave has, that would be great.
Okay, so it looks like I've got it to the point here where you can actually see my screen, so I can show you what's going on here. So this is a brand new. Can everybody hear me? Okay, just making sure.
Yes. Yes.
Yep.
Awesome. So this is a brand new Rocket.Chat server. I literally just downloaded the latest developed branch and started it up and installed the new Rocket Booster app. The Rocket Booster app's not yet available on the marketplace. I'm still working on finishing a couple things before it's going to be ready for prime time. But expect that probably within the next month or two. I am very busy, so I do this in my free time. But what the app does currently is it connects directly with your Rocket.Chat server. It's a service, so when you install the app, you have to go to rocketbooster.net and create an account and connect your Rocket.Chat server to it. And once you have that connection, it now has the ability to do things like monitor users, new registrations. There's several things that the apps engine doesn't do currently that required me to build it this way. And there's things that I would like to go back with the app engines team. And there may be things that I'm missing as well. Things like when a new user is registered, it would be really nice if the apps engine could fire off an event for that. So there's things like that I've had to build out. But what it does is when a new user is registered, a lot of things are very locked down for them. They can't join new channels. They can't send messages. They can't even go to look up a user's info. Like if you try to send a direct message, if I go in here and we click on users and I try to click on me, it actually will crash the server because it's broken right now. But it will prevent you from even looking at that person. So it'll say permission denied. You won't be able to access it. And then if you try to send a message, it will refrain. It won't allow you to send a message. And what happens when you do send a message is it will actually send you a direct message through the Rocket Booster bot, and it'll say, hey, you need to verify that you're a human being before you can continue. We don't know who you are. You're brand new. And there will be a link that you can click on that will then bring up a Rocket Booster human verification check. And this is basically a CAPTCHA. There's going to be multiple different methods of verifying that someone is a human. I'm really thinking about creating the Rocket Booster as a place that like normal users that are part of multiple different servers can go create an account and have sort of an identity that's trusted. But for right now, just at a very basic minimum level, it's just a CAPTCHA that verifies that you're a human. There's multiple different CAPTCHAs that are supported, and this is all going to be configurable in the server dashboard that I'll show real quick. But at a basic level, you can use reCAPTCHA v2, which is sort of this I'm not a robot. You click on it, and then it verifies that you're a human. There's also the reCAPTCHA v3, which is basically just hidden in the page. So when you load up the page, it can do a quick little verification, and there's no real user input required. And then I'm going to probably include a couple different types of CAPTCHAs. The reason that I want to support multiple different types of CAPTCHAs is because I want to do some A/B testing and verify, okay, which CAPTCHA is best at fighting spam? Is it really reCAPTCHA? Is it another CAPTCHA? I think we've all seen them. There's CAPTCHAs of like animals, and you have to make sure that they're all like right side up, or there's like certain things like puzzles that you have to finish the puzzle. I want to figure out the best possible way, and really what is going to be the most effective way at combating spam and doing an extra layer of human verification before unlocking their account to be able to do things like send direct messages. So this is one part of Rocket Booster. Once you've verified that you're human, there's a lot of other stuff that Rocket Booster can do. So this is what the main dashboard looks like once I get logged in here.
That part is so Web3 friendly. I can almost imagine it being like, let's say, a token address. That's very cool.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah. So this is what the Rocket Booster dashboard looks like. Anybody can create an account. Obviously, it's not live right now, but anybody's going to be able to go in for free and create a Rocket Booster account. One of the thoughts that I had about doing this sort of spam protection. So if someone sends a message and it's an obvious spam message, what we can do is we can collect that message as a community. If we've got 14, 15, maybe hundreds of different servers that have the Rocket Booster app, we can all collaborate together and we can basically identify spam on one server. And then as a collective, all the other servers in the Rocket Booster network now have that sort of spam protection. So if somebody else is going to a different server and they try to send that same message or that same image that's been identified as spam, the Rocket Booster API will say, hey, wait a minute, that's spam. It will mark the user that they need to verify themselves, or depending on what the server owner wants to do, it's possible that they could just ban the user automatically if they've identified something that's obviously spam. Now, there may be false positives. There may be things that look sort of spammy but aren't spammy. There are things like people just coming in and saying hello for the very first word. That could be a completely legitimate way of saying hi or testing out the new software. But we noticed that that's often spam related. So what you can do in that case is if someone says hello, it will say, hey, that message looks like spam. Please go verify you're a human again. And it will allow them to go through that challenge where they fill out a CAPTCHA. And then the next time they try to send that message, it will go through. There's a lot of new things with the apps engine that's really cool. The UI kit is amazing. There's been a lot of good progress on that. Integrating things like being able to click on a message and report it for spam, or mark the user as needing to be verified. Those are all things that I'm working on trying to add in to the experience. But a lot of that stuff is going to be visible on this dashboard. And this is going to be sort of the go-to place. If you have multiple servers, it's really easy to add multiple servers here, and you can go through the process of actually adding your server, and then you have a drop down of all the different servers that you manage. And this is where you can see actually uptime checks as well. So Rocket Booster is essentially putting a booster on your Rocket.Chat server. So it can do things like CAPTCHA verification, spam detection, IRC type commands or bot commands, or if you're used to like being on a Discord server where you have Carl bot or some of these other bots, things like being able to do exclamation point ban or exclamation point warn or exclamation point mute, all these different sort of commands that you're used to in that sort of world. Rocket Booster is going to provide those for you. So you're going to be able to do all sorts of cool things with Rocket Booster. This is just the very beginning. There's going to be dashboards where you can allow community members to be moderators and sort of manage that from inside the Rocket Booster web interface. You'll be able to see in real time how many users are online, how many users are engaging, what's your spam look like, how many new users you're getting. There's going to be analytics dashboards. It's going to be pretty much everything that I can imagine in my head, and also community contributions as well, of thinking of ways that, okay, what's something that we could do with an app right now without changing any code in Rocket.Chat that would just require maybe some back-end code with Rocket Booster, and how can we do that? How can we get it out to the community and being able to rapidly deploy new versions of the app? So that's what I'm working on. I'm hoping to be able to share this more publicly very soon. And hopefully we can start fighting some of that spam that we're seeing everywhere.
Fascinating. I have a quick question for this. Is there any other value added other than dashboarding the spam filtering mechanism? Like, is there an upvote in the community to change it to a reputation-based spam filtering system? What does that part do?
Yeah, so there's some things that I've already done, and I need to look into making sure that the apps engine can provide details like the user's email address. And one of the things that I wanted to hook, one of the events that I want to hook is when a new user gets registered, I want to be able to send that email to the apps engine so that I can do all sorts of things. I want to be able to verify that it's not on block lists. I want to make sure that it's not a minute mail or a disposable email. I want to make sure that it's an actual email for somebody. So that's one way that we can fight spam. Another thing is that if you have multiple Rocket.Chat servers, and you sort of talked about the community, if you guys are on open and somebody registers with an email and they're absolutely a spam bot and you mark them as spam and it's confirmed that they're spam.
Right.
Now, if they go and try to register on another Rocket.Chat server, if the Rocket.Chat admin has said, hey, I want to flag new accounts that have been identified by the Rocket Booster community as spam, and I don't want to allow them to do anything until a moderator or someone else has verified or confirmed or allowed them in, it will lock them. It won't even allow them to register, is the idea. It'll say, hey, you've been identified as spam, or it'll allow them to register and they just won't be able to do anything. They won't be able to send messages. They won't be able to create channels. They won't be able to do DMs or anything like that. So the collaboration of the community in figuring out, okay, what are things that can be identified as obvious spam, links that have been detected to websites that are on block lists, like phishing attacks that are known. We can do sort of like how virus software works. We can create matches where if somebody says a specific phrase inside of a phrase that we've sort of identified as spam, we can start building neural networks or something, maybe even AI based, to determine how spammy a message is. And there's other APIs for that. Like there's Google APIs that can say, hey, that image that they just uploaded is obviously pornography. Delete the image, block the image. And that's all stuff that we can do in the back end with Rocket Booster that out of the box would be a little harder to do or required a lot of code changes on Rocket.Chat side itself.
Yeah, that's very interesting. That's very good.
Amazing. That's amazing. Maybe you can give a little background of like the company that you're actually working with and your background, because I think it's missing in
yeah. So I work for a company called Medical Informatics Engineering, and we're hiring mieweb.com/careers. We are a medical informatics company, and what we do is we do sort of everything. So we have data centers where we host software. We have software that we've developed ourselves, which we have Enterprise Health, which is sort of our EMR, EHR. If you're a large employer and you have an on-site clinic, and your employees go to the clinic on site for things like, oh, I hurt my arm in the factory, or I need to do a drug screen, different things like that. You would use our software to sort of manage your employee population. We have another product called WebChart, which is essentially like your mom and pop clinics or your ambulatory clinics. So if you have like a local doctor that you go to, and you go in and you check in and they're doing your chart and asking what your medications are, that's where that's all tracked. And then I'm actually the CTO of a startup company underneath medical informatics called Blue Hive. And Blue Hive is sort of like Uber for healthcare. So if you need to get a drug screen or you need to get some sort of service done, you can use Blue Hive to find providers in your area that do that sort of service. So you can go in and say, okay, I'm going to be a truck driver for this company. I need to go get a DOT physical. You can use Blue Hive, search for providers in your area, sign up, do the order, different things like that. We can also do COVID testing, at home COVID testing through that. And that's all written in Meteor. So a lot of the stuff that we're doing is all Meteor based. We host it all ourselves. Our main software is all C based. We developed it starting back in like 1998. So it's all just C, not C++, not Objective-C, just C. And there's millions of lines of C code in there. HTML, CSS, JavaScript. But that's what I do. So I help make sure that the data center is not on fire. We host everything ourselves, servers, DNS, DHCP, webs, like everything, database. We have our own physical data centers in Indiana and Arizona. So I manage that team a little bit on making sure that things are running quickly, are secure. We've got WAF, we've got the latest patches. And then I also handle the development side on Blue Hive and other things. So I'm a part of the core team too. So I wear a lot of hats. I do a lot of things. I'm very busy. And in my free time,
and you've been forever. Yeah,
sorry.
I mean, you've been forever trying to get Rocket.Chat more into that, like medicine, telemedicine, and type of area. And thank you for your offer continuously as we go through different folks. But thank you.
Yeah, we're working really hard at all the new VoIP stuff. I was like, for years and years, I've been saying, you guys got to integrate Asterisk. You got to integrate SIP. And I'm so glad to see that that's happening. And that's really one of the things that was holding us back from integrating Rocket.Chat into our EMR or EHR for the physicians, is we wanted to make sure that they had a way that they could pop on a call, or they could have their phone queues go directly into Rocket.Chat. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of stuff coming in the next couple of months, proof of concept from our teams. And then by the end of the year, we're really hoping to have Rocket.Chat deeply integrated so that these physicians and these hospitals and other places can really benefit from what Rocket.Chat has to offer.
Yeah, that's very good. Thank you a lot. Yeah. Well, I think that's it for today, right? For our session. And thank you, everybody that's here. Thank you, Will, again, so for all the contributions and for your time here with us. It was a pleasure. And don't forget, if you're watching this on YouTube, to like and subscribe. And thank you. And that's it. Our next session is already, we already have a date for that. So if you want to, we are going to announce for everybody. But our next session is going to be, oops, sorry, what is it? Okay, it's in June, the 15th of June. So we are going to announce that, but save your agenda there. And it's the same place that we are having this, the same link that we have. So please subscribe, save your seat. You can do that already now. And thank you for that. And that's it. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Duda.